we are going to be going over a full physique update. I was just like shook it to my core. Good morning, good morning. Banana flavor. I got my period back. We'll go into that a little bit later. Us achieving our goals and evolving, it starts in here.
It's game time and I'm up one. Name something I ain't done. Name a body that's my type. Air Jordan, I'll take flight. I'm next level, I'm franchise.
To our winner, Julia Rene.
What you doing? It's too early. He's not having it. There he is. Good morning. Oh, okay, there he is. He's back, he's back. Good morning, little puppies. Hey guys. I'm on the floor of my bathroom. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Okay, I shouldn't have woke him up. Good morning. Welcome to another episode of the Off-Season Files, guys. In today's video, we're going to be going over a full physique update. By the time you see this video, it would almost be 2 months post-show. And we're gonna go over everything. Like, we're gonna compare my physique from probably like peak week to vision, how it's looking like right now. And I'm actually going to do a Dexa scan today. So we're gonna see like where my body fat is at. I just got on the scale this morning before fasted cardio, before eating or drinking anything. And I was sitting at 142 pounds, which show day morning, I was 132 pounds. So I also have some updates. I got my period back. We'll go into that a little bit later. So I'm typically weighing on average about probably 140, like 139 to 140. But with my period, I usually gain anywhere from 2 to 3 pounds. So I'm not really like letting that affect me or anything this morning, because I know like my body's going through some stuff. So we're gonna do a quick little physique update before cardio. So I just want to show you what we're looking like. So I'm feeling very bloated today. I have been for the past couple of days, only to realize that it was my period. No! Where's the thing? This is what you get for buying cheap hoodies. The zipper falls off in the washer. It's one of my favorite ones. All right, we got another hoodie. It's like starting to get hoodie season, guys. So when I wake up and do cardio, I always have a Hydra pack. Since I sweat so much. And Buff Chick actually came out, I want to show you guys, with a salted strawberry kiwi flavor. I'm going to show you. So y'all know my favorite flavor is the raspberry salt. It's so freaking delicious. Code Julia Rene if you want to support your girl, 10% off. But I tried this, I was like, there's nothing that's really gonna beat my raspberry salt, because it's my #1. But I tried this the other day for the first time, and I took a sip, and I was like, meh. And then I took a sip again later, and I don't think I like properly mixed up the thing. And I was like, oh my God, that's delicious. It was like so refreshing. I mean, all of them are, but I was just like shook it to my core. It's so good. Woo, and I feel super dehydrated this morning. Like with my period, it's just like, I'll go into it later. Like getting your period symptoms back after not having it for months is like a real shock to the system. Okay guys, we are at the gym and we're getting ready to do our cardio session. We still are doing 35 minutes, 5 days a week, and I am loving keeping this in my routine. I've told you guys before that there's been times where I just completely stopped doing cardio, but keeping it in my routine is holding me accountable to this reverse, holding me accountable to waking up early, doing my morning routine, and also keeping up with the endurance that I built by doing so much cardio, which in turn is going to make my next season so much better, plus maintaining my weight, plus endurance translates over to when I'm lifting really heavy weights and I don't get winded. All right, we're done with cardio. I changed my shirt so that I didn't get like sweat all over the Dexa scan. And I put a little deodorant, perfume on, but we'll shower when we get home. One thing that I like at least about the time change is the mornings, because when I get out of cardio, like the sun is coming out, like it's so beautiful. There's nothing like it. Just getting to see the sun, like everything's waking up, and I love like waking up when it's dark outside because you feel like you're like the only one who's awake in the world. And then after cardio, it's like, So that's one thing I like about it. But the whole like getting super dark at like 5, not about it. Don't like it. Don't want it. No. One thing I also wanted to mention, since I haven't had my period in such a long time, but we do have it back, the symptoms are back with it. So like my typical symptoms that I get when I'm on my period are I get a lot of lower back pain, that it's like a very specific feeling that I'm like, it's that feeling where, you know, if I get a massage or if I go to the chiropractor, it's not going away. It's going to be there. Sometimes like my chest is sore, fatigue, and my strength goes down. So what I was noticing like when I was doing cardio is that my like power output and like my feet was just not the best. But it does, like, it helps going and training when you are on your period with the pain. Like, it genuinely does. It's just about getting yourself to do it. You might not be as strong. You might be a little fatigued, but that's okay. And I'm going to, like, explain a little bit more, too, when we go and train today. Because most likely my strength is going to be a little... which is usually what happens, and that's okay. And I'm gonna show you guys like what I do when that's the case, because I'm just not going to not train for the week because my strength is down. Nope, we ain't doing that. We're just going to adjust because my body's going through a time. Okay guys, we're making breakfast. So I've still been having the same breakfast every day because I've been just really enjoying it. Got like an egg white scramble. We're sauteing some veggies, like some green onions and some pepper. And I've been having my Trader Joe's hash browns, 2 of them. And they're just so good. So I have the air fryer going because they're frozen, so they take a hot minute to get crispy. And I let that get nice and crispy while I cook my eggs. Breakfast is served. I stopped and got a little coffee on the way home. I just got a black coffee, and then I had them do 2 pumps of sugar-free vanilla syrup and then a splash of oat milk. And I'm not gonna lie, it's not that great. Actually, it's kind of good. I think I didn't mix it before. Yeah, it's pretty good. But anyways, guys, so with like food updates, my coach is slowly still increasing calories. Last week, I know I didn't do like a full update or anything, but last week he increased my calorie intake again. And that's really the only thing that is changing the most, is like slowly inching our way and increasing calories. So it's been so fun and so nice, and like I'm also getting an opportunity to really listen to how my body is feeling, especially because I am on calories and macros, so I have more flexibility with how I'd like to fill my calories and macros. So as somebody who comes from a past of very, you know, if you guys know me, you know I struggled with a binge eating disorder for such a long time. So for me, when you struggle with something like that, your eating is skewed, where you don't have that connection to your hunger cues because either you've just been ignoring them. You know, either you have been continuously eating and not stopping when you're stuffed, or not listening to your hunger cues with over restriction. So then you lose that connection with what your body wants and what your body needs. And over these years, like I've developed and gotten better at like regaining that trait that we all have. And I'm taking that with each meal. So with each meal, I do have like a meal plan that I create with my macros because it helps me stay consistent and all of that jazz. But when I go to each meal, I'm sitting down, I'm like, okay, how am I feeling? Where's my hunger level on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 is starving, which I don't want to ever be starving. 10 is stuffed, I don't want to be stuffed. So I kind of gauge where it's at and then make my meal based off of that. So today I was like, I'm feeling pretty hungry, especially because of my period. So I made my meal plan, my breakfast like I would. Yesterday, I actually wasn't very hungry in the morning. So I adjusted this and I listened to what my body was saying and what it needed. And there might be some mornings where I want like a sweeter breakfast, and that's what my body is craving. So maybe I'll do protein oats with like chocolate protein powder and a scoop of peanut butter, and I'm just starting to listen again. Okay, we have gotten a big chunk of work done, and I just ate my pre-workout meal, which probably shouldn't have done right before I do my physique update, but you guys saw a little bit about like what my physique looked like this morning. But I really I got my results back from the Dexa scan, so I want to do a comparison from the last one to this one, not only with like the weight, how much I'm weighing, like fat tissue, body fat percentage. This was like the worst time for me to do a body comparison because I got my period back, but we're just keeping it real, guys. Like I was like, I had to take a pain pill. I had to take some Midol because I was like, ooh, we're about to go to the gym and I am not. My stomach is hurting, but we're still going. We're still gonna go. So the last time that January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. Yes, I have to count on my fingers. So our last one was September 24th. So that was literally peak week of my last show. And today when I'm filming this, it's November 14th. So I think it's roughly like 7-ish weeks. So yeah, let's do a little comparison of what my body is looking like compared to peak week versus now. So the crazy thing is like I can obviously, you guys know how I felt peak week. Like I was the leanest that I have ever been. We were 7.7% body fat on that day. And today we're sitting at 12.5% body fat, which is still super low for a woman. And I'm just like, overall really happy how things have been going. Like it's kind of like I'm honestly so shocked. I don't know. It's like we are so powerful, and it's just crazy that sometimes we're like shocked like when we're able to do something, and it's like duh, like we are also powerful. If you put your mind to something, that you can do it. You know, prep is relatively something that is easy for me. And what I mean by that is it's very cut and dry. You just follow the plan, really. Of course, like it's a really hard sport and all the things that come with it, but I was genuinely fearful about going into off season, and every single season I get that way because there's, you know, less structure. I have more freedom. And, you know, now I don't have like a show date that's like holding me accountable or anything. So when you don't have that, you can kind of just like do whatever you want, you know? So I remember having this conversation with a friend, and I was like, I just fear that I'm going to fall so far off plan and like, you know, rebound really hard or slip back into old patterns that I don't want to do. And I caught myself like in the middle of that conversation, and I literally told my friend, I was like, I literally am the one who decides and chooses if that happens or not. Just because maybe that happened in the past doesn't mean it has to be my future. And look, I know it's only been 7 weeks, but that's the purpose of bodybuilding, is to get better and better and better. And each time that I've gone into an off season, I've gotten better. And usually by this time, I have just given up. I don't do cardio. My routine is all off. And so I'm just like so proud that I've been able to maintain and follow my program. And trust me, I haven't been 100% great. You know, I have some free meals and stuff like that. And there's been times where I've eaten a little too much, you know, been a little too stuffed, maybe had a glass of wine or something. But the difference is, in the past, I would have let that imperfection, me not being 100% on it, end up being a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 day thing, and I would have just given up. But now, the number one thing, and I talked about this on my Instagram story, that has made this reverse diet the best. And I made a whole video on how to not rebound after, you know, a dieting phase or a show. So make sure you watch that. But the number one thing is I'm not expecting myself to be perfect. Let me explain that. Every time that I have expected perfection out of myself, I end up being so guilty, feeling shame, and getting angry at myself for this unrealistic expectation of perfection, which doesn't exist. If I was perfect, I'd be very boring to watch. There's a reason y'all are here and you watch me. It's because I'm imperfect and I have flaws, and I share those things with you, and those setbacks and those mishaps, because that's life. And this time I just changed the way that I responded to those times where I'm falling short or I fall off track. I'm human. I allow myself to be human. And instead of just giving everything up and throwing in the towel and continuing down that shame and guilt spiral, I accept that this was the choice that I made. I can't go back and change it. But what I can do is choose a new reality. I could either do the same thing that I've always done and just give up and do the pity party and all of that, and think about I shoulda, coulda, woulda done this, or I could just get right back up and try again the next day. And I don't have to, starve myself because I ate off plan the next day. I don't have to try and fix it. I don't have to do extra cardio. I don't have to do any of that, because that just implies that what you did was bad, and being human isn't a bad thing. All of us do that. So I know this is like a mindset tip that has really helped me, but at the end of the day, us achieving our goals and evolving, it starts in here above all else. So your internal world can be a direct reflection of your external world. So that's just, sorry for my little TED talk, but I'm really proud of those results. And I have like a goal of, I have an idea of where I want to maintain, my weight, where I know that I can feel comfortable. I know that 12% body fat is, I know in my head, I'm like, obviously I'd love to be able to maintain 12% body fat, but I know that that's not realistic. I would like to see if maybe 15% body fat, anywhere between like 15 and 20% body fat is more realistic, or probably 15 and 17.5% body fat. But I'm just gonna listen to my body, and I'm gonna follow what my coach is saying, or ideally maybe around 140 and 145 pounds. So that might change, but that's typically where I feel the best. And I haven't been able to maintain that in the past because of all the reasons I said before. So I'm going to just continue to try my best every single day. And when my best falls a little short, give myself grace. And you should too. Okay, y'all, this is my first closet. So I have all my gym stuff over here. I'm sorry it's a little dark in here, but we're doing the best that we can. This is just gym. This is just the gym stuff. And Zach's stuff is on this side. There's like a little corner. And honestly, the closet, it's beautiful, and it's like a nice walk-in. And I honestly I love it. And then I have a little shoe rack here, which I'll show you guys. But because I mainly wear gym clothes. Like I genuinely just wear gym clothes all the time, or like athleisure wear. I didn't have room for my regular people clothes, like going places, which you guys know I haven't really been going places for a couple months now because I've been on prep, and that's the only thing that's been on my mind. But now I am going places. That sounded funny. So we're gonna pick an outfit. When I'm feeling bloaty and like uncomfortable and like I'm on my period, like there's a couple things that I really lean into during this time. It's like first giving my body more grace, a little bit more love. I usually feel a little bit more down just about things. Like I'm not a very, if you know me, I'm not a very like emotional person. Like it takes a lot to get me to cry and like all of those things, but I can always tell when I'm getting ready to start my period, because like I'll be like, I'll see like a dog video and I'm like and that's not normally something that I would like cry about. I'd be like, oh, that's cute, but I wouldn't like cry about it. So then I'm like, oh my God. And that happened to me the other day, and I was like, that's weird, but I didn't expect to get my period back so fast. So I lead into grace, like I'm usually a little bit more like my emotions are heightened and things like affect me a lot easier. So I'm just very mindful of that. And I'm also like, if I'm feeling a little like bloaty and uncomfortable in my body, I'm not gonna force myself to wear something that I'm not comfortable in. So today is gonna be a onesie day because my belly is like bloated, my back is like hurting a little bit, my boob is hurting. So we're gonna do onesie. So let's see. We got a couple different onesies to choose from. Let me bring you in here. Come in here with me. So I was thinking maybe, so there's this blue one, this peach bum one, and I do really like this, but honestly, it was tight on me when I was on prep. So I'm you know, put a little weight on, put a little fluffs on. So I'm like, is it gonna be really, really tight? But maybe that's good for my tummy at this point. We'll see. What else? I also have my go-to. This one's my favorite, and I do feel really good in this. This is my dark sport one. I do like this one, and it's black. But like, I don't really like wearing black all that much. I also have a dress. No. I need to buy more onesies. 3 hours later, she picks an outfit. Ugh. You ever just so annoyed with yourself that you're like, I'm fed up. I'm fed up with myself. You know when you're just on your period and like nothing looks right, you look in the mirror and you're like, oh, I hate that. I was looking in the mirror and I literally had to go, stop. Just walk away, just wear that, who cares? So that's what I did, and who cares? I don't. Anyway, so we got our pre-workout stack. I'm gonna do a scoop of the creatine from Buff Chick. This is the cherry limeade flavor. It's so far my favorite flavor in the creatine. It's delicious. And this is the Buff Pre and strawberry kiwi, which is actually new. It's so new that I can't find the scoop because in shipping it like moves around. Where's the scoop? All right, well, I can't seem to find it and I am not putting my hand in there. So we're gonna scoop of the Buff Pre for energy and focus and the creatines for endurance and power output. I've been noticing a huge difference in my performance in the gym. I've now been taking, I wanna say definitely over a month for sure, but I haven't honestly been tracking, but I do know that I feel so great when I go to the gym. I'm very curious about how I'm gonna feel today, being on my period for the first time in a really long time and training. So let's figure it out together. That combo slaps, yeah. Yup. Coach Rene if you want to support you, girl. And save 10%. So I've been sitting in the car stalling because I don't want to go inside, and that's just the truth. I want to just crawl on my couch and watch New Girl episodes. But just because we don't feel good, we're like unmotivated, doesn't mean that we just give up and we don't go at all. So anytime that I find myself like stalling and there's something that I know that I need to do and I keep negotiating with myself and I'm like, maybe I'll do it later, this and that, I use the 5-second rule from Mel Robbins. You count backwards from 5, and once you hit 1, you just go and do the thing. You beat your brain to stop negotiating, because the more that you think about it, the more you're gonna talk yourself out of it. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's train. Okay, my loves, so we're starting with the gluteator machine for 3 sets of 12 to 15. If your gym does not have this one, you can just use a traditional abduction machine. It's gonna work just fine. So I was feeling a little bit weaker on these than normal, so I put the weight down just a bit for my 3 sets. And after my last set of 12 to 15, I dropped the weight even lighter and did one of my favorite booty pump finishers. So this is how it goes. I'm gonna show you what my feet look like. So you'll do 10 reps with your feet staggered one way, 10 reps with your feet staggered the other way, 10 reps with your feet both close to you, and then 10 reps with your feet far from you. Yes, that is a total of 40 reps to complete. You do all of those reps before stopping. You'll either hate me or thank me later. Next, we're gonna move into a glute focused split squat for 3 sets of 12 on each leg. So for these to be glute focused, what I want you to do is step your working leg out a bit further than you normally would and have your torso lean slightly over that leg. And on your descend, you want to move at like a diagonal. So imagine moving like an escalator. One thing that really helps me have better connection with my glutes here is to kind of slightly turn into that working leg on my way down. Give it a try and let me know what you think. Next, we're gonna move into a glute ham press. I love this machine so much because not only are we targeting your quads, but we're also targeting your glutes and hamstrings. So if you don't have a glute ham press, you can swap it for a traditional leg press and just choose a bit of a wider stance with a slight point out with your toes, just like I did here. So for these, we're gonna do 3 sets of 10 to 12 with a really, it's a pretty short range of motion. So I'm not sure if you guys can tell here, but I'm not pushing the weight all the way up. I'm keeping continuous tension on my glutes and hams in a smaller space, and man, does it burn. After that, we're gonna move into a superset of traditional kickbacks and glute medius kickbacks. So for the glute medius kickbacks, I'm going to step to the side of my cable and I'm gonna turn my body towards it. I'm also turning my working foot to a 45-degree angle, and that working leg is going to cross over my non-working leg until I feel a stretch in my glute, and then we're gonna kick it back up. I'm gonna do 10 reps like that, then immediately go into 10 reps of traditional kickbacks on the same leg. Then I'm going to do the same thing on the other leg, and that is 1 set, and we're doing 3 of those total. Lastly, guys, we're gonna do something that I hate, and that's work on calves. There's a reason my calves are so small, because I hate working them. But my coach added a lot more calf workouts to my routine, and we want them to grow, we gotta get it done. So I did a standing calf raise, and for these, I was really focusing on the stretch at the bottom and the squeeze at the top. So if you can tell, I'm not just like repping them out. I'm really letting my calves stretch at the bottom and then come all the way up and squeeze. And oh my God, just slowing it down like this hurts so much. So I did 3 sets of 12 to 15 here. It was the worst, but that's our workout. Hi. Honestly, guys, that wasn't too shabby of a workout. Like, all things considering, there was like, one thing about me is that like, I am fueled. This is gonna sound like a little psychotic, but whenever like someone tells me that I can't do something, I'm like, oh, really? All right, I'm gonna do it twice then. So whenever like I'm not strong, you know, like because of my period or I'm like fatigued, like I get mad about it. You know what I mean? And like anger can be like a useful tool, you know, when used properly to get you to do things and to push past your limits. So like I like tap into that anger when I'm lifting and like help release it. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So there was like some exercises that I was doing like that I felt really, really strong. And there were some that were like, nah, you know, but I was pleasantly surprised, you know, that I'm definitely not as strong as I was last week. Last week, my strength was insane, which is usually what happens like leading up to your period. You have this like week of feeling like absolutely strong and like confident and all of that, and then like the week of your period it's like meh. So yeah. Okay, y'all, we're home. It's already dark because it keeps getting dark so fast, but I'm loving this weather. I live in Texas, so it's like it barely gets cold, you know, it's just like ridiculous. But I wanted to show you guys, I stopped at Sweet Green on the way home because I was like really craving a salad. You know, when you're just like, I just need some like vegetables. It's way too expensive for a salad. Like I should honestly just get some salad and keep it here at home so that if I ever have the craving, I can make it. But then sometimes I don't have the craving and then it just goes bad. That's like what happens to me every time. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, I feel like he totally like screwed me on how much I got. I was like, dude, I got like just the salad bowl and I didn't add any like rice or anything. And I was like, when I got home, I was like, ugh, dude, what, Viz? Anyways, so this is what we got. I got arugula and I got kale. We have some tomatoes. I did add some chickpeas to it because I feel like I was really craving that, and which is just strange. What else? Pickled onions, banana peppers, and then I added some avocado from my home so that I didn't have to pay for it there. I love how I'm like, I got this, I don't even know how much the salad was at this point, but dumb, expensive salad. Like, oh, I'm cramping again. Ow, being a woman is so annoying. But I'm glad to have my period back and I'm healthy. So that's good. That's good. But yeah, I'm just gonna eat this. Oh, I also wanted to show you, hold on. So my little like dessert that I've been having every evening is I'll do some fat-free whipped cream and some sugar-free Jell-O. I ran out of the chocolate ones because they have sugar-free chocolate and vanilla swirl, which is like 60 calories for a cup, and this one's like 10 calories for a cup. Both of them are good, so I just buy both and like kind of swap which one I have every night. So I have this and I eat it with a little tiny baby spoon and it's so delicious. It's so good, honestly. This was my mom. Like, when I was little, my mom used to eat this as a dessert, and that's where I learned it from. And then next, okay, so y'all remember when this was full? Yeah. I have 2 left. Like, I really need to place an order for some more. And I have 2 coconut ones left. So every night I'll have the Jell-O with a little bit of whipped cream. And then I have one of these Built bars. I still am loving them. They're delicious. I enjoyed almost all of the flavors. I wasn't the biggest fan of the banana cream, but I don't like things that are like banana flavored. Like banana flavor. Ugh. I also don't like things that are orange flavored. It's never like chocolate and orange. No, those two don't go together. They do not. Chocolate and peanut butter go together, chocolate and caramel, but not chocolate and orange. Ugh, disgusting. So that's been my dessert. It's so great. I have a lot of awesome video ideas coming up. I have one on like meal planning and meal prepping and making sure like the thing of teaching you guys basically what I teach my clients to stay on track with your meals, a like weekly reset. I also have a video that I'm gonna be doing about like high protein, like high volume, low cal kind of recipes. And I'm gonna do like a full day of that for you guys of like new fun stuff that you can eat so that you just don't get bored with your food. So that's all coming. I'm so excited. I love you guys so much. And you're more powerful than you think. Bye.